One of the conversations that we have, a little debate that we have, because I come from the world of being a public school teacher, and she comes from the world of going to a private Catholic school, for some of her life. And so she got to see like the value in that. I know that for you, you had kind of put your daughter into public school, but then you took her out.
Yep.
So, and I know that your kids are very young, so you're just like in the beginning of figuring this out. What was the decision to go, you know what, we're done with public schools and we're only doing private schools?
Well, what's funny is like in that debate, like the private versus public school debate, I used to be on your side of it. Like my husband's best friend, he's one of my really good friends now. And we always joke when we're together, if we don't debate, it's weird. Like Ben and I debate about everything. The first debate we ever had was public versus private school, and I was on the public side of that debate. So who I am as a parent has changed really radically over the last, I would say, year and a half, 2 years. 2 years. It was like literally 6 months before COVID hit. I did this kind of like 180. Partially, to be honest, because I finally got my medication figured out, and being a mom with anxiety, like with like crippling anxiety, can be really difficult because it was just like everything was scary and I couldn't think straight and everything was foggy. And it's part of why I don't eat gluten anymore, is because it's like really helpful with brain stuff. And so, yeah, I put my 4-year-old on a bus to kindergarten, public school.
That's really young.
Yeah. She's like 7 days before the cutoff. Her birthday is.
Okay.
So she was a baby, and I put her on a bus and sent her to kindergarten. And it's not judging. There's nothing wrong with that. But now, literally over my dead body. Like I would never now. So it's not just like public, private school. Like my entire parenting philosophy has changed. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, I used to like judge moms that didn't vaccinate their kids, but, yeah. So she did a year of kindergarten, and our plan was always to hold her back because she's so young. And because of the seizure that we mentioned earlier, it did have some like residual impacts, and there were some medications that she was on that caused some slight just like developmental delays. Like she's not delayed, she's just like a teeny tiny bit behind, which is fine. So then she's young and behind. So we thought, because like state-wise, we thought we had to put her into kindergarten. Again, wasn't informed consent. I didn't know to do the research and know that you can opt out. So we send her to kindergarten. The plan is always to hold her back and have her do kindergarten again. And then the public school system won't hold her back. They did not, that because of their retention numbers, they wanted it to look a certain way. They fought us tooth and nail on holding her back.
You wanted it, and they said no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Bad. Like they got caught in lies. Like it went all the way to the school board. It was like a whole thing. Because I was like, I'm not sending my kid to first grade and like throwing her in the deep end and hope she swims. Like I'm not doing that. And so that was kind of like the final drop in the bucket of me trusting my kids with the government. I was like, literally, screw all y'all. Like, pulled her out. So beginning of March is when Louisiana schools closed because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was still kind of okay with her being in public school, and was like, okay, well, now that she's going to miss March, April, May, she's going to miss 3 full months of being in actual school. Now they're definitely going to hold her back. And they still wouldn't hold her back. They were still telling us no. So I pulled her. I just literally pulled her then, which was great because we didn't have to do virtual schooling anymore, which was miserable. I pulled her, got the last kindergarten spot at the school she's in now, which is like a homeschool co-op and a private Christian school, had a baby. It's like so perfect and like such a godsend.
That's neat.
But yeah, that was like the last time that the government got to tell me what to do with my kids.
Man. So this was not COVID and like being in quarantine and sitting around and like rethinking life. This was like right before. Yeah. Was there something that sparked this whole like rethinking everything you had been taught or rethinking everything you knew to be true?
I think so. She had her seizure in 2015. And I was a wreck. I mean, literally almost watched my kid die. So I was just kind of a disaster for like a full year. So that takes us to 2016. 2016 is when I start kind of putting the dots together. She got 4 vaccinations 2 days before she had her seizure. Could those things be related? Start doing that research. That research is like another year. So now we're in like 2017. And then that was when I was like, oh, it was like, I like talked to a doctor who is friendly to people who don't want to vaccinate their kids, which is rare. And they were like, yeah, I would make that connection. And that was kind of, so then from like 17, 18, 19 was this slow morph. It was not overnight. It was this kind of slow morph in my parenting and in my philosophy and how I handled things and approached things. And then them not wanting to hold her back, sitting in a meeting with the principal of her school and the principal being like, well, I don't really know that she's a candidate. And I have the papers that like her teacher is recommending that she's held back. Was just kind of this eye-opening. And I don't want to, like, I love teachers and teachers are wonderful. It wasn't a teacher issue. It was an administration issue. It was like the system issue. It was like, you're not for my kid. You don't want my kid to succeed. You want your numbers to look good. That was a little bit of a light bulb where I was like, no, I'm not doing this with you anymore.
Hey y'all, we hope you loved this conversation. Here at Young Married Christian, we are on a mission to see a gospel-centered home made available for every single child in the foster care system. There are 400,000 kids in the foster care system, and there are 400,000 churches in America. Wow, that is crazy. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we want to be a part of it. If you want to join us in that mission, text the word freedom to 833-370-1610.
833-370-1610. 833-370-1610.
I just did it.
And another thing you can do that is really helpful is to smash the like button on this video.
Smash it like Satan's face. Crush it like it's Lucifer's head.
It really helps us a ton, so smash that like button, subscribe to this channel.
That's it.
Smash the like button on this video.